You're now listening to the Sportz Nutz.
Hey, welcome to the Sportz Nutz.
Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Buy one, get one 50% off drinks.
Tequila's Grill Mexican restaurant has homemade salsa bars. They have the most authentic, most delicious, and most affordable Mexican cuisine in town.
Yes, welcome to episode 89 of the Sportz Nutz, guys. Guys, we are literally knocking on the door of episode 100. Remember, Saturday, May the 3rd from 6:30 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern, the Sportz Nutz will be live on location at Tequila's Grill in Easley. There'll be giveaways. There'll be discounts to food, music, entertainment, you name it. We're going to have a lot of fun. So make sure you guys book it on your calendars. Come on out Saturday, May the 3rd to Tequila's Grill in Easley. Hey, guys, we have a really good episode lined up for. Yes, we are coming on early tonight. Normally, you guys know we are at 7:30, but we're coming on tonight because we have a very special guest. He is the former Atlanta Falcons linebacker, Sean Weatherspoon. Guys, Spoon is still a very much fan favorite throughout the entire state of Georgia, especially the city of Atlanta. He is also now the new head coach of Pace Academy. So we are eager to have him come on. Make sure you guys go ahead and like our Facebook page and our Twitter page at the Sportz Nutz. Subscribe. Help us get to that number 200 subscribers on our YouTube channel. We are only 27 away from getting that magic number of 200. We can't wait. Matt will be joining us momentarily. He is slightly behind because he's leaving work. Hank most likely will be joining us too, but hopefully, because Hank is busy. He's been putting his studio together, so hopefully we'll have him come on. But my man's sitting right here. Shane, how you doing, man?
Man, doing good, man. First week, kind of settled up here in the mountains, and it's been great. Was able to get out and kind of enjoy today. Kind of this afternoon, Friday afternoon, kind of ride around the mountains and kind of look around and enjoy the place that I'm finally at and kind of finally feel kind of at home. So, man, it's been a great week. I hope everybody else's week has been great out there as well. Hey, let us know how it's been. Let us know what you want to hear. We've got a great guest coming up tonight. So, hey, let us know some questions. Maybe you want to hear from the man himself. But,
That's
man,
right.
all in all, good out here my way.
Hey, and didn't it snow last night up there?
No, that was just the Bradford pears dropping their blossoms.
So it did snow in the western North Carolina mountains, more towards the Tennessee border, but hey, it still got snow,
Oh no, it's been snowing up here because the wind's been real bad, so that's brought on a little bit of that. But we didn't get any of that. But I was joking with my father earlier. Whenever he was riding up, I said, "Hey, it's snowing up here too." And he's like, "What you mean?" And I said, "Bradford pear blossoms are falling."
Yeah, we have that here, and we joke. So there's a restaurant here. It's called Joe's Ice Cream Parlor. There's a she works there, a waitress named Lois, and she has her favorite saying is "snowing and pickings, y'all." And it got so popular that WSPA CBS 7 did a story on Joe's, and everybody commented snowing and pickings. So that's pretty cool. Hey guys, we are about to bring on our guest. Cannot wait to have this. So make sure you get your popcorn ready and just have fun. The fact that we got this gentleman to come on out of his busy day really means a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, Spoon. Hey. What is going on, Coach Spoon? How are you doing, man?
Man, it's great, man. I'm doing great. I'm here in Brookhaven, Georgia, just a little north of Atlanta. At the crib, man, just a Friday night, man, a regular Friday night for us.
Absolutely. Hey, man, when we found out that you were the head coach at Pace Academy, I told our other host, Matt, I was like, Matt, I'm going to reach out because I got to get Spoon because I still have your jersey. And my favorite thing is every time you got a sack or tackle, you pull the spoon out and do the spoon feed. I loved it. It was awesome. I know you're still a fan favorite in the Atlanta Falcons organizations. I have a lot of friends who are like they do stuff with the Falcons. Like I have my cousin Cody has a podcast with his friend Chase and his brother Philip and then a couple other guys called Dirty Fanatics United, where they're strictly just for Atlanta Falcons. And they constantly, I still hear them say, man, I miss Spoon. Spoon was like it. And you brought this electrifying environment to the city of Atlanta, and I know that the injuries unfortunately took a toll on you, but man, tell us what it was like just to be a part. So, I will tell you this, I'm a diehard Dirty Bird fan. I've been a diehard Dirty Bird fan since 92. That's when my sister introduced me to the Falcons. And I got to see the last ever home game at Fulton County Stadium. I got to see the first home game ever at the Georgia Dome. I was at that Monday night game when Prime and Andre Rison got into a fight. A couple preseason games at Mercedes-Benz. I haven't been to a regular season yet. That's my goal this season, is to get to at least go to a couple. But tell us what it's like to be a part of such a great organization as the Atlanta Falcons.
Man, it's a beautiful thing. I just remember back to get my name called at the draft 2010. I think that was the first time where they did the first round on one night. And so, man, I was at home with my family down in Jasper, Texas, and I got a call from Les Snead. He's like, man, we're going to take you with this pick if we don't make any moves with the pick. And I'm like, he said, I'll call you back. I said, no, you won't. I'll just stay right here. You guys aren't going to make any moves. You guys are going to make the right move. And that's kind of what happened. I hung on the phone for a little bit. And then finally my ESPN, kind of my little earpiece kind of kicked in. That's kind of when I knew it might be close. It might be close. And we stayed on the phone. Next thing you know, he was handing that phone around. I got a chance to speak to Mr. Blank and Mike Smith and Thomas Dimitroff. And it was a great moment that I'll never forget. And just coming here that Mother's Day weekend to participate in, it was actually the team mini camp. It wasn't a rookie mini camp from right off the bat. And I had a chance to go out there and kind of just be put into the situation right there with the older guys like John Abraham, Eric Coleman, Thomas Deku, Coy Wire, Curtis Lofton, a lot of guys that, were already pros and had the verbiage down and could get me lined up. And so I got a chance to play with the threes in minicamp, the twos in minicamp, and the ones. And guarding Tony Gonzalez was pretty surreal. He was a guy that, I saw on Madden, watched him play. I went to school at Mizzou, so I got a chance to see how much the Chiefs love him. And once I got here, man, it just felt like home, man. I fit in right with the guys. I continued to be myself. I brought that energy that I've always brought. A lot of people kind of joked around at the time that I looked like LaDainian Tomlinson at that time. He and I had the same hairstyle, and I guess our smiles were similar too, and just our energy. And man, it was great. It was great to be here, a part of an organization that was doing things the right way. And we went 13-3 that first year, man. You think you just come in and go 13-3 every year, man, but we had some great times. We had a lot of great players, a lot of great moments in that locker room. We started D-Block. I was instrumental in that, just bringing that young energy, flying around, getting after the football, and having a good time doing what you love. And I just don't believe that a day where your work is football is a day of work at all. It's a blessing and a privilege. And, I'll never take that for granted. And that's part of the reason why I make Atlanta home, man. I love being here. The city treats me well. Brookhaven is a great place to be. And my kids are loving it. I got 3 babies here, and we're growing as a family and just continuing to grow as, I'm a true adult now. Come here at 22 years old, 15 years later, now you're the head football coach at Pace Academy, and it's kind of full circle because in 2011, I had a chance to go to Pace to help those guys scrimmage a little bit. Croy Wire and myself. I'm sorry, not Croy Wire, Croy Beerman. Beerman, forgive me for that, Beerman. He was coaching against me, and Julio Jones was like the guy to come to talk to Pace Academy as, kind of like the guest. And we had a great time over there. That was my first time being introduced to Pace. And, here I am, the head coach, some 14 years later.
It's a real special moment to get to go and coach young minds. I had the privilege of being a football coach. We actually have a good friend. His name is Vince. He goes by Coach Vince. And I coached at Avondale High School. Loved it. It was a great experiment there. Unfortunately, DeKalb County didn't see fit to keep the school open, so they closed the school down. But I had a lot of fun doing it. I also helped coach with North Gwinnett High School. Loved it. It's something about it. And, Shane, he's often asked, like, what kind of style was I as a coach? And so Vince came on. He said, "Let me tell you, Brandon is the kind of coach that if he could have you line up from Albuquerque, New Mexico, all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, he would, because he likes to pass." I ran the run and shoot offense.
Okay.
Absolutely love the pass style. My idol is June Jones. He played for Atlanta, coached at Atlanta. He is still to this day one of my absolute favorite coaches. He coached at University of Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
and just a great experiment there. I loved it. Was so much fun there. But when I go back and I look at, you just said the 13-3, and then you get to line up with one of the probably, in my eyes, we'll see this no matter what Travis Kelce does, have the greatest of all time in tight ends
Mm-hmm.
line up with you and Tony Gonzalez. I mean, how surreal was that the first time you walked on that field and you saw Tony Gonzalez? Like, I mean, you had to have kind of been a little starstruck, right?
Man, of course, of course. And I was in Missouri, so I just saw him, and then I saw he came to Atlanta and really, set the tone here for our offense. That was a guy that Matt Ryan always went to when he needed a play, man. Tony was the guy. And so to watch him even be such a great athlete to play basketball at the pro level as well. And I think he was a March Madness type of guy at Cal. But man, just lining up against him, it was like, oh my gosh, like this is Tony G. Like, and he's checking me. He's coming to block me, and he's having to worry about me. I think initially I was quite nervous in that I'm great. I'm grateful that it was a team mini camp. That I didn't have to go out here and just go against the rookies and get this false sense of confidence. It was actually, you're in the show. These are the guys. You got Michael Turner over there. You better get some pads on Bernie Turner, and you got to get hands on Tony Gonzalez to slow him down. But trust me, man, there was nothing you could do to get Tony Gonzalez off of his game. And he knew where you were supposed to be, and he knew where he was going to go. And I've never seen a guy just work on the top of his routes. He worked on the top of his routes at practice while we were just kind of doing other things. Just the top part, because that was the most, important part of his route, because he's a basketball guy. He was going to outposition you. And so he taught me early on the tricks and trades that tight ends like to use in coverage. And I think that's what helped me to be considered a covered linebacker. I was a linebacker that you can count on to be where it's supposed to be in the passing game and always competing after the football. And I will say that Tony G got me right. And then there's a couple guys at Missouri. One that was a teammate with me, Chase Kaufman. He backed Tony up in that 2012 season here. Mark Rucker. They both won the Mackey Award back-to-back years at Mizzou. And so I had a chance to go against that type of talent every day in school. And then once I got here, it was, man, then they brought Julio Jones in, Roddy White. You be asked to be around some great guys and make some plays. And Tony G set the tone, man. It was surreal for sure, for sure.
Shane, go ahead.
Man, kind of as a Panther fan, kind of just as location, kind of following them, man. You and Thomas Davis have kind of set the tone of what we know a modern outside linebacker to be, more of a coverage kind of speed guy that can help in the run, but then also cover that tight end. Those not so nickel situations is what I would call them. But man, tell me, how was that transition from that college level? Because I mean, we knew you were, almost a sack king in college.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of what was that transition like going from college game to the NFL game? What brought you to that level? And I mean, as NFC South guys around here, you can't think of a better outside linebacker, between you and Thomas Davis around that time. So, I mean, just kind of let us in on what that's like.
For sure, for sure. I think what really played a big part, I always go back to, my high school days and my kid days. I played quarterback when I first started. I was quarterback and linebacker. So that was third grade, 8 years old. So I'd always been a guy that loved defense, but I always played offense as well. So I always was agile. I ran track. I was an all-state high jumper in high school, basketball player. So, I was a guy that didn't consider myself to just be one thing. And I think a lot of kids today, they're specializing, what they do. But I was just having fun, man, having fun playing ball. And then all of a sudden, Missouri calls. And Matt Eberflus recruited me there. And he showed me a guy by the name of Lance Briggs, who's another guy who showed you how to do it in that 4-3 at that outside linebacker spot. And so I had a chance to, become friends with Lance while I was in college. He came to Mizzou. He hung out on campus and just kind of, I talked to him about putting my name in the draft my junior year, or if I should be going back to school. And ultimately, talked to my family, got my grade back. They said it was a third round grade, and I didn't want to settle for that. So I think it was great that I went back to school. And like I said, at school we had Martin Rucker, Chase Carlin. These guys went to Mackey. My best friend Jeremy Macklin, my other best friend Daenerys.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, I remember Macklin.
we had some guys on 2 feet just at practice every day that really, really put pressure on you, man. And so that was something that helped me. The Big 12, we throw the ball a lot. So I was able to be used a little bit up on the line and get some open side rushes. And I lived in the backfield, man. That was just, something that I truly enjoyed, was just being a part of an attacking defense. And so to come to Atlanta to play for a 4-3 attacking defense was something that was right up my alley. Brian Van Gorder, he's got his Georgia ties, of course, and BVG. He always talked about Odell Thurman and Thomas Davis, guys that he had at UGA, and he saw the similarities in my game, and they wanted to put me in position to be able to be aggressive, but it wasn't going to be as much blitzing and lining up on the line of scrimmage as it was at Missouri. But they enticed me with a guy by the name of Reggie Bush. They said, we're drafting you to cover this guy right now. That's going to be your role. You're going to be our dime backer, and however that role grows, that's up to you. And so I took that challenge, and I got in that film room with Mike Peterson. Mike Peterson was he was the daddy line, and I was the baby line. I think Mike Pete might have been in year 12 when I got here, and he didn't shun me away as this kid coming to take his job. He taught me how things go. He taught me how to be a pro. And I went after it every day. And our defense was a multiple defense. Mike Smith was a very detailed coach. Smitty, we lined up in a 3-4. We lined up in the bear front. We lined up in the 4-3. We blitzed. We dropped back in coverage, fire zone. You had to be able to, run up the seam. And then they brought a guy like Julio in, and it takes your game up even another notch, going against guys like Julio and Roddy White. And Jacquizz Rodgers came in with Julio, and Jarius Norwood was here. So it was just iron sharpens iron. Just had a chance to go against a lot of great, talented offensive guys. And when it came to hitting, I'm from Jasper, Texas. When you gonna hit, the Jasper Dogs they hitting right now. They probably ain't supposed to be fast, but they hitting. But you just kind of come out the womb knowing that you're gonna be a physical ball player. And then I just went around, got a chance to go to Mizzou, and they put some more secret sauce on me. Came here, and the guys that were here, they helped me out, define my game even more and more. And I took pride in being physical, but also shutting the guy down in the pass game. That was like that's the most satisfying thing. Like, a sack is great, but like to lock somebody up and know that, hey, you ain't getting nothing over
That
here.
makes it a whole lot better.
That's the best. That's the best.
Absolutely. So obviously it's well documented what's gone on with the Falcons since 17. We lost a legend at the quarterback. He was, unfortunately was traded to Indianapolis, and then you saw his career ultimately has come to an end in Matt Ryan. Obviously he is the, in my eyes, look, I know Steve Barkowski. Steve's a great guy, but Matt is the GOAT of Falcons all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you saw the situation happen.
He gonna say Vic.
He's gonna say Vic because he's West Virginia.
I'm a Tech fan. I met Michael Vick. I met Michael Vick back in the day. So
respect. I mean, either way you want to go there, I don't think you can go wrong. I think Matt being here for essentially his whole career, it gives him an edge. And I'll tell you anything, man. Anytime you can stay in one organization and get after it with those people year after year after year, man, you feel good about going to work, man. Because I had to leave town, man. I had to go to Arizona and figure it out from that standpoint, man. But like you said, man, Matt Ryan, Mike Vick, pick your poison. Great players.
Absolutely. And then we saw the unfortunate demise of the love-hate relationship happen with Julio Jones, and we saw the unfortunate end of Roddy White's immaculate career. Look, there's been such fantastic players that have stepped foot in the Georgia Dome and now Mercedes-Benz Stadium, like some of the best players you will ever get the chance to see. Well, we saw the situation happen this past year with Kirk Cousins. Obviously, the injury bug played a huge role with his Achilles. And then, there's the talk that he secretly knew, and he got hurt. He obviously got hurt in the Saints game, which everybody I know, we don't, us Atlanta people, we do not like the Saints. We had Gerald Riggs on a few weeks ago, and he
Oh
was
yeah,
like, "Yeah,
great running
we'll,
back.
we'll mention them, but we're not gonna harp too much on the Saints because we don't
Of
like them."
course.
But
Boy,
this
Matt's
whole
on the flag. Matt's on the flag. You mentioned the name.
yep. But like so this whole situation that's really transpired for Atlanta has kind of put a bitter taste in a lot of Falcons fans' mouths because Kirk Cousins didn't live up to this contract. This contract that he signed was a ridiculously high amount, and it's it's hurting us basically now with offseason because we're not doing a lot of big names right now because we're tied so much into cap space with him. Obviously, Michael Penix is going to be a great addition. I think he is the future of the franchise. But what you have seen, what do you think could ultimately help fix this debacle that's going on? Like, I know you can't go like too deep because I want you got to keep it quiet, that kind of stuff, because I know you're still pretty good friends with a lot of the players. But what can we do to really right the ship for the Atlanta Falcons?
Oh man, wait, I mean, there's a guy by the name of Sean Witherspoon that has left that building in 2017, and I just equate myself with winning, and so I plan on bringing what I brought to the Falcons to Pace in just a different way. But I think ultimately you just got to get winners in the building. Got to get winners in the building. You got to get captains. You got to get, people that guys can look to and feel, like, okay, I got him beside me. I feel even better about what I can bring to the table. I think the quarterback situation from last season was alarming to me just going into it. And I have a lot of respect for Terry Fontenot, a lot of respect for Raheem Morris, and I mean, the ultimate respect for Mr. Blank. But when I look at it, I was like, we the Matt Ryan thing it got out of hand. Like there's no way Matt Ryan goes to play for the Indianapolis Colts if the Falcons are on the path that they're on. I think he was, they signed a deal with him, obviously, and things didn't work out. And then they're gonna give Kirk Cousins a bigger deal than Matt Ryan. I mean, it makes no sense, or a bigger guarantee deal. It makes no sense to me just how they moved about without having the quarterback of the future on the roster when Matt was here. The Ritter experiment, didn't work out so well. So it is what it is there. But you got to get winners in. I look at Penix. He's older, but what he did at Washington was something that was, something that you got to give him a lot of respect for. I think his accuracy is something that's going to set us up for success, man. I think he's a great quarterback, and I look forward to seeing him with a full clip, and I call it full clip, a whole offseason and a full preseason with him knowing that he's the guy, not having to look left, look right. He just knows he's the guy. And we have to say that kind of played a part in maybe Kirk Cousins' demise to bring Penix in. I mean, there's kind of some iffy things. If you'd asked me, I would have went with maybe the cheaper route, maybe the try to get Justin Fields in here, maybe trying to get a Russell Wilson, a Cam Newton, even. I mean, somebody to segue, the position until we get the guy. But it's just a tough spot. I don't like the Grady Jarrett move because now defense is going to be looking for a new leader, and I think he was the guy that you can just look at every day and know that okay, Grady's coming to work with his hard hat and his lunch pail, and he's going to bring that intensity, and he's going to be a mainstay in Atlanta. I mean, it's unfortunate to see him leave, but I say he probably fell on the sword of Kirk Cousins. But the defense has to get that pass rush. We have to affect quarterback, and it's great to affect the quarterback when you don't have to blitz. When I look at the defense on the back end, you look at 24, you look at 3, the way 55 played last season. I'm looking to see if Troy Anderson can get back to doing what he was doing in that Saints in that Aints game. I won't say Saints.
I love it.
Man, I just think we got to get some consistency at knowing who our leaders are and knowing who we can depend on. And Jake could do a great job on that left side protecting Penix, and I think that left arm, our season is gonna be rested on that left arm of him, man. And I believe that he can go out and get it done. It's gonna be that same type of team that you saw with Matt Ryan, where you got the pieces, you got Drake London doing what he's doing, you got Kyle Pitts. We gotta figure that out. We need more of that, right? We need to see Kyle, come out and be the guy that we all know that he can be. But ultimately, it's gonna be riding on Penix, so the defense is gonna be a little short-handed when you're talking about the money and the situation with Kirk Cousins' contract. But hey, you can win with an accurate quarterback and a complementary style of football. To get a defense that can keep people out of the end zone, you don't have to get all the sacks. You got to affect the quarterback. I'm more so concerned with affecting the quarterback. We thought Judar would do that. It'd be great to get the kid from Washington that came in with Penix. I think it's Brylan or Braylon Trice. Get him back upright. I think those are going to be some promising pieces that we'll be looking to down the road. But it's time to get it, man. You don't got much time for Fontenot. And Raheem, he's a black head coach in the NFL. We know what that means. You got to win. You got to
That's
win.
right.
Look forward to seeing it happen this year, and I'll be cheering those guys on.
Shane, go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, as we're talking, I don't want to get too far into this Falcons talk before we, get waist deep in it. Before we talk about, your next venture, being the head coach of Pace Academy. I see you repping and everything else right now, man. Tell us kind of what your outlook on the season is and stuff like that. And I mean, tell all our fans out there. I mean, the people that follow you. I mean, I know they probably already know, but some of our fans might want to know how can they kind of help out. Get y'all going with this season and kind of what you're looking forward to.
Most definitely. Thank you, man. So, man, it's crazy how this thing even happened, man. My daughter went to Pace for observation. She's 5. She's leaving her church school, and so she's moving on. And I get I want to let them know my daughter's coming, right? Take care of my baby girl because I know the people at Pace. Make sure she have a good interview. I speak to Mr. Fred Asaf. He's the head schoolmaster. He's like, she did great. You should come coach. And I was already with the coaching thing was already happening. When Penix got drafted, I screamed. I was so excited. I reached out to Terry. I reached out to Raheem. Man, I need to get in the building. I signed up for the Bill Walsh internship program. And as I'm thinking, I'm like, man, I would love to get going in the spring last year, but my son was in the hospital. I had a baby boy last year with my wife, man. And man, things got a little tough for baby Kai, man. He was born, at about 27 weeks. So it was a tough journey for him. And man, it ended the wrong way, man. We lost him in June. And it was super tough, and I just needed to be at home and be with my family. And so I took the time, and I'm like, man, you know what? I lost my baby. He's not here with me. He's in my heart. I lost him, but man, maybe my calling might not be for NFL right now or with college right now. Maybe I can go get back to the young kids that really need it, And man, like I said, he hit me up. We talked about coaching. I sent my information in. Next thing you know, I'm sitting there meeting with the AD, meeting all the coaches, meeting all the resources on campus, and learning a little bit about their season from last year. And I'm super stoked to be able to make a difference. I believe in myself as a leader, and a leader isn't the loudest person. It's the person that comes in and improves the situation. And I won't do that alone. You do that by hiring good people. You do that by being a great communicator. And I think these kids, they look at me, they're 15, 16, 17 years old. They look at me, they saw me play. They play with me on Madden. They know who I am. I'm still a young guy, as I like to say. And they look at me and I think it resonates when I say something. And I'm not going to tell them anything but the truth. There's some non-negotiables at Pace Academy. We're going to run to the ball. We're going to be present. We're going to take care of the football. We're going to take care of our schoolwork. We're going to be good citizens. And they know that. That's how I am. That's how we are. And that's going to trickle down. And these kids are excited, man. We got kids that are rising juniors with 35, 45 offers. We got some talent, man. We just really have to get our numbers up. We didn't have a JV last year. We've already scheduled 5 or 6 JV games this year. So we're building our program up, and we need all the help we can. We need people to be at Riverview to support us. Our facility is top notch out there in Mapleton. It's a nice facility, man. We got a great Pace Academy complex over there where our field is. I mean, it's just that grass that you want to just, Ray Lewis grab that grass and get the smell of it. It's that type of grass, man. So we just need everybody to come out and support. And man, be loud when you do come. Man, we got to get those nights back where they used to be because we won state 10 years ago. We can do that. We know that we can do it. And we have a great staff. We have great support on campus. And the kids are just amazing, man. I was in there this morning at 6:15, 6:30 with the weightlifting program, man. We're getting after it. We're going to make sure when they call our number that we can stand up and say, Pace is here.
Absolutely. Hey, look, I got to also give a shout out to Miss Caitlin Jones. Obviously, she helps set this.
Yeah,
Having you come on, she's a real camper. Really enjoyed communicating back and forth with her, and the whole staff at Pace Academy in general is just phenomenal. And we actually had Jamal Lewis and Coach Bob Swank from Chamblee High School come on, and
Nice.
we support every body possible.
First game.
Come and check them out. That's right.
Yeah.
Come check out everything about everybody. And I gotta also mention, have you had the chance yet to go and see Buford High School's $50 million football complex yet?
I have not seen their new complex, but I was at Gainesville a few weeks ago with 707, and I did get to the Deshaun Watson way. That was the road we pulled. I said, man, they doing it out here, man. And I know Buford is top notch. I used to live in Buford. I used to go train over there a little bit. During free agency, I couldn't go to the Falcons building, and so I went over to Buford, got my squats in. Me and Corey Peters, my best friend, man, my former teammate, and Corey's he's scouting for the Jags. So he's we've been talking ball, man. We talking 3-4. We getting it together, man. We're super excited, but Buford does everything top notch, and that goes to say the same about Pace, man. I mean, the castle is what we like to call it, the Arthur Blank upper campus is amazing. Just few doors down from Mr. Blank's house too. So maybe we go over there and have a little coffee or something, man. But it's amazing. Much respect to Buford. I'm super excited to be going against former guys that I know of, Jamal Lewis, as well as Ed Reed calling the plays for Chamblee. We're stoked, man. We're stoked. I know I got to get ready, man. They're coming out with some formations that Belichick used to put on those guys, I'm sure.
Absolutely, and so this is Spoon. This is Matt. This is our other host. He actually lives towards Norcross area.
Nice.
So he's coming a little late because he works at the Mall of Georgia.
Oh,
So
yeah,
he's coming to work. But Matt, go ahead. If you have a question, ask away.
Doing Matt.
Hey, how's it going? First of all, man, thanks for coming on the show, man. Apologies for my tardiness. Trust me, I was doing 100 about to get here. But
you made it.
a lot of I like to ask this to a lot of athletes that come on, or former athletes that come on. Can you kind of go over with us how it was for you on draft night, from the moment you woke up to the moment you were on a plane to go see the team, and then your experience that first time at camp?
Bro, it was crazy. It's crazy. We talked about it a little bit, but I can elaborate even more, man.
Okay, perfect.
You said from the moment you wake up.
Yes.
And man, that's pretty cool that you said that, because I remember, I signed with Athletes First, so my agent is Dave Dunn, Ryan Williams, at Athletes First, and so I'm training in Irvine, getting ready, and I really just don't know. Like, they said I could be anywhere from 15 to 45. That's kind of like where they have my slot. So Gil Brandt, who was a long time, I think he was one of the guys that worked in the front office for the Cowboys, but he was one of the guys that was, he picks like who goes to the draft in New York. And I was not one of his favorites, I guess, because I was loquacious, as they like to say. I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to have a good time. We're going to have fun. And I guess he just didn't like me. Or maybe that was them trying to drive my value down so the boys could draft me. Because that's who I grew up watching, right? The Cowboys. My parents, big Cowboys fans. So, man, I woke up and, before I'll take it back to that. My agent was like, we won't have you go to New York. Gil don't like you. You probably can go anywhere from this pick to the second round. So it's best you stay at home. I'm like, cool. I love being at home. And so I woke up that morning, man, and I never thought I'd be nervous, but I was super nervous. So me and my older brother, we just went to go work, man. We went to go work. Went to the high school, got some conditioning in, got a workout in, went out and ran. The sprinklers came out on me, and it felt great. Texas is get around. And I grew up in a small town called Jasper, where football is king. Everybody knew I was back home. They knew we were going to have a little draft party at this little Holiday Inn, little reception room over there. And, man, it was awesome, man. We went over there. We chilled out. The cameras started showing up. ESPN pulled up on us, and they put the earpiece in. And, they kind of, you kind of like, man, what's all this? The draft starts, and it seemed like with each pick, it just takes forever. And this was the first night where they had all the first round on one night.
Yeah.
And so, I knew it was a couple of places I could end up. I knew the Giants might go linebacker, off the ball linebacker. They chose JPP. I think before then, the Eagles. Well, I take that back. Rolando McClain went to, he passed the eye test, right? So Rolando McClain first went off the board. He went to the Raiders. Go figure. So then it was JPP, then Brandon Graham. So the Eagles took Brandon Graham, and so right around like pick 15, I think I want to say Denver had it, but they ended up trading back. And so then my headset cut on around like pick 17. So I'm like, oh, it's getting close. All these hats, my agent got me with every hat that I could possibly be going to. And then all of a sudden my earphone kicked in. Boom. So now I'm hearing like the broadcast of the draft. So I'm like, man, it's really getting close. And so Les Snead was the one who called me. I see the 770 number. I'm thinking 404 all day. 404. Called me. 404. It's the Atlanta Falcons, not the Flowery Branch Falcons. Turns out it is the Flowery Branch Falcons because that's where they practice at, right?
Yep.
We play in the city. And so I got that call. Les is like, man, we really like you. So when we're going to take you with this pick, unless we move out of the pick. And I'm like, why would they do that? Please don't move out of the pick. I'm like, he's like, I'm going to call you back. I said, nah, you ain't going to call me back. I'm going to stay right here. So I'm chilling, just waiting. Next thing you know, I think Marquise Pouncey's off the board before me. And then here we are. The Falcons stayed in the pick. And so the phone just started getting passed around the room. Spoke to Mr. Mr. Dimitrov, Mike Smith. And then I ended up circling back with Les. But, man, it was a go. They said they were going to select me. Man, we went crazy. The whole family jumping up and down. We had a good time that night. And I finished the night with Whataburger just to put on top of that brown liquor. It was a fun night in Jasper, Texas. It was a fun night, man. A fun night. And so, man, so now it's like, okay, now I gotta go there. Wow, things start moving fast. Media, I'm on the phone with D-Led, D-Led of the Birds.
Yeah, we know D-Led Becker.
Yeah.
Talking, he's like, hey, he's man.
That's how we talking.
I'm like, hey, D-Led, I know, man, I thought Q Dogs was loud. But he's a solid cat, man. We had a great chat. The next day, man, Kevin Winston, him and Brian Kearns, man, they came to get me, man. And they flew into Beaumont, Texas. I drove up. Or they had somebody come get me from Jasper, drive me up to Beaumont, Texas. Flew me right into, we flew into Gwinnett. I remember seeing the lake. Like, man, it's in Atlanta. Like, this the country. This is what I'm used to.
It's funny you say Gwinnett County is the country, by the way.
Next thing you know, man, I was in the building, just going through all the media. Me and my mom, man, we ate steak at like 32,000 feet, man. You couldn't tell us nothing, man.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, Mr. Blank, he sure know how to roll out the red carpet, man. It was great. The flight was amazing. First time, well, not my second time on a plane that small, because when we flew down to the Big 12 media days, Mizzou flew us down there in style too. So
okay.
It was great to come in and beat everybody, and then I went back home right away after all that, and then I came back for it wasn't a rookie mini camp, it was a veteran mini camp. And so here I am just in the show with these guys, man. Matt Ryan, Chris Redman, Corey Wire, Mike Peterson, Tony Gonzalez, Michael Turner, Michael what's his name? I'm drawing a big old blank right now. Michael Jenkins, my dog. Jenkins. White.
I got a story to tell about that too.
John Abraham, the Predator. Man, Corey Beardman, Willie Moe, my college teammate. I get to join him. We was like a package deal.
Yeah.
Willie Moe's always ready. Remember that?
So yeah, Willie Moe always. It was super cool, man. And that's kind of how it all got started, man. I'm glad I got a chance to be with the veterans right away because I'd have to make no calls. Eric Coleman, Thomas Dacoud, Curtis Lofton, those guys made all the calls. All I had to do was see ball, get ball. And that's how it started. A couple years later, I'm probably the only will linebacker with the headset, communicating, captain, running the defense, man, at 24 years old. So God has been good, man. It was a great experience, man. Something I always remember. And I think that's why I can't leave Atlanta, man. I got to go take some of this knowledge to pay, see what we can do there.
Nothing wrong with that.
No doubt.
So I know where you were born, Greenville, South Carolina.
Yes, indeed.
I'm in Easley.
Okay.
So I only live 15 minutes away from the Greenville Drive Stadium.
Yeah,
the heart of Greenville.
Born in the Ville. I was born in the Ville, so my dad had come up when I lived in Beaufort. He right to Greenville so quick, man. And I didn't spend any time in Greenville. I went back to Texas for like 6 months. So I like to say I was born in the Ville, but hey, I'm Texas raised, Texas all day.
But I got a funny story about Michael Jenkins. So I used to work at a Primrose after school program, and this guy walks in, and I'm like, anybody ever told you look like Mike Jenkins? And he's like, yeah, I get that all the time. And I go, so can I go ahead and have your autograph because I know it's you? And he's like, how'd you know it was me? And I'm like, man, I've been a Falcons fan for as long as I can remember. And he goes, all right. So he signs Matt. Show him that little helmet you have, by the way, behind you, man.
I still got the helmet. Yeah, I still got it right here, man.
You see that helmet right there?
Still got some signatures on it.
He autographed part of that helmet as well.
That's
so
crazy.
I got Mike Jenkins to sign that. So it was really funny that he walked in, and then I got the privilege of watching Richard Seymour's son, London. That was really cool in itself. But this is going to be a fun campaign for you, Spoon.
Yeah.
And also, folks, Spoon's not old. He's 37 years old. He is younger than my wife. Come on, by a year. Come on now. Sitting there saying that you might be an
but
elder,
my daughter just turned 10 yesterday. That make her.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And like feel different,
Oh man.
So Matt has 9-year-old.
Yeah, my daughter turns 10 in November, man. So I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
Hey! I grew up with you. I'm a couple years younger. So
yeah, respect. Hey, that's funny that you said that though, because the way Jenkins tried to play that, right? Like that's what all the athletes do. They kind of look like such and such, and I get that all the time. And you just keep it moving.
You knew right away. I knew it was him. Immediately, I knew it was him.
The fact that you're a real lifer though, like that's why it's no problem to sign because we play with our helmets on, man. It's a little different.
Yeah, that's a test, though.
Somebody really knows who you are. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a test. That's a test for y'all.
But see, Matt will tell you, he knows. So I've known Matt for over 20 years. He'll tell you Brandon is probably one of the most ridiculously diehard Falcons fans there ever was. Spoon, I literally have, I think last time I counted, I have like 12 jerseys.
Oh, man.
And then I have like 15 hoodies. I have like 30 shirts. I have basketball shorts of the Falcons. I have this big like winter coat that Smitty used to wear. Remember the big like poofy jackets they wore and y'all would go out of town like it was snow and stuff? Yeah. I have that.
You represent.
I got Falcons winter gloves. I've got, you name it, I've got Falcons everything. So yeah, like I told you, I'm a diehard Falcons fan. But Spoon, it's this just goes to show that athletes they enjoy getting to give back to the community and be part of growing minds, and seeing what you're going to be doing for Pace Academy is an amazing feat. I absolutely love that you are going to really work with these kids to get them be prepared, but not only for the game of football, but the game of life.
Most definitely.
And that makes me, smile. So I coached my daughter's basketball team. Mm-hmm. And we actually, unfortunately, came up short in the championship game. We lost, but I recently just applied for a basketball position at Getty's Middle School for the girls basketball program. I love coaching. Matt will tell you I love coaching. I love being a part. Seeing when you see, you put all this effort in and it only takes one. You see that one athlete go, oh, and they get it. It's that aha moment. It is like, oh my God, that was it. That's the bread and butter. That makes it all worth it. And that you're making a huge impact to see those kids, like they take off from there. So my wife also coaches Addison's softball team. Addison's my one who plays basketball and softball, and she coaches the softball. And both Cassie and I were just saying the other day that Addison has like thrived at an amazing level. She's only 7, and she's playing like she's been doing this for 7 years. She's so like into I love it. And my wife absolutely enjoys seeing when Addison gets it. I enjoy it and seeing the minds do it. So Spoon, I'm beyond excited for Pace Academy. I know that they're getting a real winner in you, obviously, because you played at Mizzou, and Mizzou's a fantastic program. You played for the Atlanta Falcons, which is by far the greatest organization in my mind and majority of other people. But now you're at Pace Academy. The sky is only going to be the limit for this team, and I know you guys have a really intriguing matchup. Obviously, you're going to be looking on the other side, and you're going to see Ed Reed.
That's crazy.
As the offensive coordinator for Chamblee High School. But shout out to you, man. Shout out to the Knights, and we can't wait. So I will tell you this, Matt and I definitely. So Shane lives towards the Asheville area.
He in the mountains there.
Yes,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
up there. So what at least Matt and I will do is we will definitely come to one of the Pace Academy football games. We will absolutely come, and when we do, I got a couple of things I'm going to give you for the Sportz Nutz gear, so you have it.
Make sure you let Caitlin know, man. And
oh yeah, I got her stuff too.
Yeah, she's the best. She's the best, man. We can't wait to see you guys. When you guys see the complex out there, I mean, it's gonna be a great Friday night experience out there, man. I truly believe we get this thing going. We got a big shot at it, man. Because I'm looking at the film, I'm watching. I'm like, our defense gave up the least amount of points in the region. Now, Creekside is a force to be reckoned with in our region. That's pretty much the top team. But I mean, we got Westminster, we got Lovett, and we want to be the Kings of Buckhead. So we're locked in on it, man. We're locked in on it. I truly believe it's going to be a great year, and I'm in it for the long haul, man. I'm hoping to be here for as long as I can be here, man. I can't wait to coach my son at this level. He's 8, and MJ Sanu, Muhammad's little son, they some dogs, man. We got some dogs, man. We own gyms, so I'm seeing all these kids, man, come through, and these guys are getting after it, man. I can't wait to see these kids continue to have that aha moment, and it feels so great to just pour into them and watch them grow, man. You gotta love it.
Absolutely. And Sanu is actually my next target. I'm trying to get him and Matt Ryan to come on my show, because if I get I'll tell you this, Spoon, if I get Matt Ryan on there, I'm gonna be kind of fanboys, because I absolutely think he's my all-time greatest quarterback. But if I get him and Sanu,
ain't gonna put Matt right in his place. He's like, I don't know now, Vic.
Hey, guys,
I'll be the same way if we get Vic on.
Hey, Spoon, we know you got to run, because obviously I'm beyond pleased that you came on. Can you let people know where they can find you, maybe on like social media, and definitely give a shout out where they can find Pace Academy as well?
Thank you for the plug, man. So you can find me on Twitter, Sean W Spoon 56 at Sean W Spoon 56, and on Instagram I'm at Spoon Jones 56 at Spoon Jones 56, and you can go look at Pace Football. All you gotta do is type in Pace Football. You'll find the Knights on there. We would love for you all to check us out and follow our journey, man. We're gonna be working on that social media presence to put it out there, man. We look at what Prime is doing, what he's doing at Colorado, and really putting the athletes in the forefront. That's what it's all about, man. Let's build these kids up, and let's watch them grow into the men and young women that we want to see them be.
Absolutely. We can't wait to see what's going to happen for you guys. We will be at one of those games, I promise you. And you have my number, so I know I gave it to Caitlin to give to you. So stay in touch with me.
Shoot me a text.
Absolutely. Stay in touch with me. Send me a message, save to everything. Send me a message, everything. And and when you get the full schedule, let me. I'll ask Caitlin. Make sure you get it to me. We're gonna be there. I promise you. If I need be, I will have my Spoon jersey on.
Hey,
and I'll be as loud as humanly possible.
Hey, I can't say I'm gonna be doing the eating, but the kids, somebody gonna be eating out there. I guarantee.
Absolutely. All right, Spoon. You have yourself a fantastic weekend. Go Knights. Let's rock it, and we'll talk to you again soon. Sound good?
Indeed. Likewise, you gentlemen too.
Take care.
All right, later.
Much love.
Guys, how awesome was that to have Coach Spoon? First off, Coach Spoon, man, that's pretty cool to say, right?
Yeah, man, it's making me feel old too as well, man. Back when we used to watch these guys, come into the league, get drafted, play, be cornerstones of their particular defense, our position, our team, and then to retire and just move on to bigger and better things, man. What the knowledge that he can give these up and coming kids is better than anything else, man. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm definitely gonna make it out to a couple of Pace games this year.
Absolutely. And then I didn't know this, that they play Chambly, so we have to kind of cheer on we got to cheer on Ed Reed and Jamal Lewis, and then also cheer on our good friends. But honestly, man,
we'll definitely try to go to that game. Definitely gonna try to go to that game.
Yeah,
be a good game to go to.
We'll go cheer on Spoon more, because he is our Dirty Bird Falcon team. So hey guys, Matt, obviously didn't get a chance to talk to you early, but how you doing, man?
It's going, man. Just ready for this weekend. March Madness stuff. I'm so like shaking my head at all these 5 seeds right now. These
Dude, the
5 seeds just
5-12,
killing my
it's
brackets. I've had enough. From now on,
So,
I'm flipping 5 and 12 whenever I do brackets. It's 12 is automatically win. 12
all right,
automatically.
so
Yeah,
according to
that-
only half of them. Only half of them.
whatever, man. That pedestrian performance that Clemson put up in the first half was
Dude.
ridiculous. 13 points in the first half.
13
First
points.
half.
But see,
First half.
people have been always talking about how bad Clemson was. We got to give it up to McNeese State, man, and their defense.
Hey,
they did a great job
absolutely.
that first half.
First
They did a great
ever
job.
win in the NCAA tournament. Shout out to them. And, also, this is a couple terms. Shane knows this very well. Clemson did what? They Clemsoned. They
Yep.
stumbled.
That was the first time Clemson's basketball program has been involved in Clemsoning.
And then also, folks, everybody knows, if you don't know this, Brad Brownell's name is not really Brad Brownell. It's Brad Brownell, because he loses at the most important times. So,
Wow.
but shout out to McNeese State. Absolutely.
Wow.
Congratulations. That's
Wow.
Shane, tell him that's a true statement, isn't it?
Wow.
Well, I can tell you,
That's so disrespectful.
Call him that.
He's a great coach, and I can
So
tell you, Clemson under his term
He has turned it around, that program. Absolutely.
He has gotten rid of that whole term Clemsoning, just like Dabo Swinney, because they actually did it in the ACC this year. They didn't show up in the tournament, but McNeese is a solid team. You know, we talked about it before, and I guess our bias got the best of us.
Yep.
Talking about Clemson, probably winning, but when there's 6 minutes left in the game and your best big man gets fouled out because of a technical foul,
horrific technical foul. He literally looked and smiled. That's all he did.
Well, no, he was talking. The other guy was just looking and smiling. That's probably what got him the tech. But in the end, either or you look at it, they actually did something this year, and all they did in the tournament was what they reverted back to from 2-3 years ago.
Yep.
So hopefully, they cleaned it up and all, because that was a special team that they had. But I could see them, bringing in talent, especially the way.
Hey, Brad Brownell, he used that transfer portal very well.
Yeah. So I can see them. I can see them doing some things, but man, it's not just the 12-5s. It's all these low. It's all these lower seeds, and I talked about it last episode. The disparity between the top and the middle is almost gone now, and us as a fan watching these games, we love it because it makes them competitive. I mean, first night of the NIT, we saw a 3 overtime game.
Yep, between Chattanooga pulls it out with a 3-pointer of all 3-pointers. And shout out to Chattanooga. They're the only SoCon team left in the NIT, so shout out to them. But guys, I do want to point out. I did say I was going with a lot with the media. I did not believe that UNC needed to be in this tournament, and obviously, yeah, they won their first 4 matchup. They didn't win. They actually spanked San Diego State, but they lost tonight. So that down with that one. Yeah. But hey,
that shooting
it's going to be a great 32.
That shooting percentage that Ole Miss had was ridiculous for the first 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah,
but it's hey, you look at it, you think about it. Brad Beard is probably my number 1 candidate for the Indiana job. I mean,
well, wait, didn't they announced that guy? Hey, what's his name? He signed with. He's the Indiana coach.
Who is it?
Oh my gosh, Matt, do you know the name?
Oh, I missed that.
Oh.
The Indiana. Here, I'm looking it up. Indiana.
I missed it because I thought that Beard had all the promise to be the next Indiana coach. Had that blue blood.
Darian DeVeris is the Indiana men's basketball coach. He is the former coach. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll. He joined Indiana. He was previously the coach at West Virginia, and at Drake, but he was also a longtime assistant at Creighton. But he was part of that West Virginia franchise that should have gotten to the NCAA tournament this year. But a lot of people are saying that's what he knew he was going to leave the whole time.
Oh yeah, well, okay. I missed that one completely because I thought Beard, he is primed to be the next blue blood coach. So watch out for that move to North Carolina if they decide to get rid of Hubert Davis.
Well, hey, you never know. Hey,
I don't think so. I don't think they get rid of Hubert. I don't think they get rid of Hubert.
Hubert Davis has got too much.
One more year like this year, North Carolina as a blue blood, they've got to do something. But with the NIL, like I said, there's not much disparity anymore. So these blue bloods aren't the marquee name. I mean, hell, we saw Coach Cal go to Arkansas instead of staying at Kentucky.
Well, I think honestly, I think his time at Kentucky was coming to an end in general. You know how Kentucky fans are, and Kentucky fans are they bleed blue through and through, and there's only so many times you can accept going to the first round and losing, or the second round and losing, and then you're kind of like, well, let's go ahead and we need to have a fresh face in the position. But I got to give a quick shout out though to Colorado State. Look, you kind of had your backs to the wall a little bit, and you kind of skated by the Mountain West Conference, but then you had to go face against a legend in Penny Hardaway, who did phenomenal things at Memphis. In Memphis, they lost today, 78-70. Shout out definitely to Colorado State. Want to get and look, guys, you all heard me. I selected Grand Canyon to upset Maryland. Why? Because Grand Canyon has had a phenomenal run. Like they're one of the highest 3-point percentage field goal team in all of college. I think they were like number 12 out of 360. That's how good they were at the 3-point, and they laid a goose egg. They lost by almost 40 points today to Maryland. Yeah. Hey, real quickly, guys, before we go further, I do want to let you know the lovely Matt Carflags of the Sportz Nutz is in, folks. Yes, they are in. So Matt, you have yours here for you. Shane has his. Hank has his waiting. Everybody, we have them all here. We will be giving away a couple of them on Saturday, May the 3rd at our live on location Tequila's Grill from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's one of the prizes that we're going to give away. We have a bunch of other stuff we're getting together, but can't wait to have you there. So make sure you make time. Circle on the calendar right now. May the 3rd. You're going to see me. You're going to see this guy right here. And then you're going to see that guy right there. And you most likely going to see Hank too. So the four of us will be there. It's to celebrate our 100th episode. Look, Matt, Shane, Hank, everybody, right? April the 9th is when we officially started this show. We're about to hit a 1 year mark, and we're going on our 100th episode. Cannot thank you all enough for watching and tuning in. But this, as I said before, 100 down, another 100 to go before we hit 200. We're here for the long haul. Can't wait to be that part way with it. So, all right, Matt, I got to ask this question, and I'm being dead serious about it. Obviously, somebody must have forgotten to tell Alabama. You need to really try not to look at your opponent and say, let's go look for the round of 32, because you did see Robert Morris. They came to play, and they almost had their number. My question to you on this, Matt, okay, can Alabama advance to the Sweet 16, or are they just to the round of 32 after how they played?
I think Alabama can advance to the Sweet 16. You got to understand, man, they're playing a 16 seed, and they're kids. So normally, man, they're gonna kind of drop their guard and play down to the level of their competition. That's how it works sometimes, man. But you got to give it shout out to Robert Morris for coming out ready to play. They executed. They did their thing in that first half, man. I mean, they kept it. They did what they had to do. And at the end of the day, man, talent always prevails. I won't say always prevails due to some of these upsets that we have, but coaching, you got coaching, talent. I mean, I'll say coaching beats talent any day. But it's just one of those things, man, where I think they kind of just love going through the motions, kind of love through it, and play down to the level of competition. But I do think Alabama has the capability of, making it. I said they can make it to the Final Four, honestly, man, if they do what they have to do.
So, shout out to St. Mary's, by the way, y'all. This is their second to last year playing in the West Coast Conference, and then they move on to the newly reformed Pac-12. They call it the Pac-12 2.0. They beat Vanderbilt today, 59-56. Shout out definitely goes to them. They got a tall task in playing Alabama. Matt, what would be so? Look, Bama's only favored by 5.5. What do you think the final score would be in this game? That's it's slated to start on. I believe it's on Sunday.
I think it's going to be a blowout, man. I think Alabama, they're way more talented, man. I think they're going, but then again, like I said before, man, it really depends on coaching. But I think Alabama's going to pull it out, man. They got woken up. They faced a little adversity, man. Pressure was on definitely against Robert Morris, but I think they're going to, show up, execute, and be ready to play. I can see them taking down St. Mary's pretty easily. I'll say it's blowout by halftime.
Oof. All right, Shane. So I got to go to you. Shout out, by the way, to our friend Coach Vince. Vince made a comment last night. The team that Michigan was playing looks like a high school team. Go ahead and blow them out. And remember, guys, I did have UC San Diego because I got to see them all season. They're a phenomenal team. They took it down literally to the wire, came down to the final shot. Michigan only won by 3. Michigan, they have not been great as of late. They've been okay. They're playing a really I would kind of say like semi-hot, semi-mediocre as well. A&M team. Shane, does A&M beat Michigan, or does Michigan, quote, pull the upset and move to the Sweet 16?
Man, I can tell you, it's kind of the same situation that Matt was talking about with Alabama. This is the first round game. Kind of deal. When you're that high of a seed, kind of things. Alabama is not a team to kind of get hot off the start. Like they've got to be in rhythm. Michigan kind of the same way, but more so defensively than offensively compared to Alabama. So like what Matt said, like first game, yeah. And the second game, blowout probably. Like I'm a true believer in Michigan. They got those two big guys down there. They play defense. They rebound. I mean, we saw in every rebound or every upset last night in the tournament, the winning team won the rebound advantage.
Yep.
I preached that, when we were on here Tuesday. Rebounding, backcourt, and depth. That's what wins you championships. So I think that this next game against A&M will be a testing game, but then again, I think Missouri and A&M are on the same level from their play in the SEC. So I think anything could happen at any moment, but I think that Michigan has a great chance to pull the upset, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. All right. So look, now we do have quite a bit of games that have already been set up for the round of 32. Let's go over them, pick the winner. Just real quick, pick the winner, and then we'll go to the next topic. But first game, number 1 Auburn, number 9 Creighton. Matt, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Auburn on this one, man. I think Auburn, they just have the better players. They're better coached, and I think they'll pull out a pretty big win. Not to slight Creighton, man. Creighton's really good program, really good team. But I think Auburn's gonna have the number.
Absolutely. And look, I told you guys, Creighton, and our good friend Dustin from Tired Sports, he's like, is Creighton really good? I said, dude, they can turn it on the 3-point game in the matter of no time, and it's crazy how they do it. And he's like, what do you mean? I go, well, Kyle Korver played at Creighton. The dude was one of the best 3-pointers shooters ever in the game of NBA. And I told him, I said, watch, Creighton's going to get to this point. They're going to shoot these threes, and they're going to take the roof off with how fast it. And sure enough, it was, all right, Louisville, you guys got complacent. We're going to start making every three. They lit it up real quick. I'll give my prediction in a minute, but I want to hear Shane. Shane, Auburn or Creighton? Who you got?
Auburn is one of the true, I believe, Elite Eight teams. No matter what, you can look at some matchups depending on how they go. Either way in other regions, but Auburn, I believe, is a true Elite Eight to go into that Final Four. So I mean, it's Auburn all day.
All right. So here's my thing. Hold on. All right. So if Creighton comes out, and I mean they come out red, stinking hot. I mean, I'm talking the first 5 shots are 3-pointers, and they're banging them in like no problem. Auburn has to watch out.
Auburn can do the same though.
Yep. Now, and the same thing. Auburn can turn it on real quick. Auburn, absolutely. They have the talent and they have the coaching, because Bruce Pearl is no joke. He is a great coach. He's always been a great coach. I will say this, though. Just like Creighton, Auburn can go cold rather quick because Auburn lives and breathes by the 3. And when they don't warm up if they don't start out relatively good at threes, then they're going to rely strictly on inside. Well, Creighton, they do have a really good big man. They have a couple good big men there. So now here's my thing though. I think Auburn is too talented for Creighton. Do I think it's going to be a good first half? Yes, it'll be a great first half between the two. But I think Auburn ultimately pulls away pretty significant. I say Auburn, hey, Matt, I'm going to use your term, mollywops them in the second half, and Auburn blows them out of the water. It's going to be a fun game regardless. We just mentioned this one, the Michigan A&M game. Matt, who you got, Michigan or A&M?
I'm going to go with Michigan, man, just for the simple fact that, Michigan has those 2 NBA caliber bigs, and they play through them as well. So I can see them kind of jumping out early on Texas A&M, but I do think it's going to be a close game.
I agree. I think Michigan wins, and I think it's going to be like a final possession or even a final 2 possessions to determine the outcome, but I think Michigan wins. Shane, who you got?
I say 73-67 Michigan.
So see, we're all saying pretty close game. All right. Ole Miss, they're coming fresh off of knocking off North Carolina. Ole Miss is the number 6 seed, taking on the number 3 seed Iowa State. Matt, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Iowa State on this one, man. I think Iowa State's defense is just gonna be a little too much for Ole Miss. Now, if Ole Miss can come out hot like they did against North Carolina, then we might see something. But I'm gonna go with Iowa State here.
I'm going to go with Iowa State simply because of the fact that, Iowa State has a really good defense. They absolutely play defense the way I love it, hard-nosed defense. I say Iowa State wins, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ole Miss makes it very interesting in the final couple minutes left of regulation. Who you got, Shane, Ole Miss or Iowa State?
And, I'm kind of with y'all. This game can go either way, in my opinion. Like, Iowa State with their great defense, it is the Big 12. How many shooters outside the arc do we know in the Big 12? Not too many. But it's not too many compared to other leagues. So if you look at the matchup, I believe it's going to be a real competitive matchup. It's one of those ones that I would be like, give me something, Vegas, because I couldn't go either way. But I do believe that in the end, I think that the disparity, like I said, between the bench is going to be the difference in this game.
I like it. So we're all kind of in agreement. It's going to be a fun matchup regardless. And real quick shout out to Florida. They're beating Norfolk State by 20, but it's going to be a good matchup to see what happens there. Colorado State, the 12 seed, knocks off Memphis today. They're taking on the number 4 seed Maryland. Matt, who do you got?
Due to the balanced effort that I saw Maryland put up against Grand Canyon, I'm going to go with Maryland here, man. I think Maryland is just too talented for them, and I don't think they have anybody to handle Mr. Queen in the middle.
I'm inclined to agree with you on this one. I think Maryland. I think Colorado State, they're going to make it be a fun first half. I would say the first half of the first half, like the first 10 minutes. It's going to be a good game, good matchup. And then Maryland's going to say, you know what, hold my beer. Let's go. And then Maryland's going to take over. Again, shout out to the Mountain West Conference. University of Hawaii goes there in now in a year and a half, they will be officially a Mountain West Conference team, full, thick and through. So, shout out to them. But I think Maryland's going to handle their business and handle it rather quickly. All right, Shane, Colorado State or Maryland?
Colorado State, the way they played today and the resiliency that they showed late in minutes against who they played, surprised me.
Okay.
So I think this could be a possible upset.
So you have so ladies and gentlemen, this is the first upset right here. Having a 12 go to the 16.
Well, I'm not going to say that yet.
Okay.
But I say it's a possible upset.
I like it.
It's a possible
Could be fun
upset.
regardless, though.
But yet, I don't know. Just like Ole Miss, like I said, it's a flip of the quarter. It's a kind of 50-50 shot. If Ole Miss shoots the way that they do, they're going to win the game. If Colorado State plays in their realm of the basketball that they play, which it's kind of a mixed bag, because but if they play within that kind of mix in that realm, then I could see this being an easy upset.
I like your thinking in that one. All right, let's go to the next one. And Matt and I both were emphatic about this. Upset Drake was going to knock off Missouri. I told you Drake it's just something about them. And I don't know if you saw the story, y'all, but their head coach at their post-game press conference said, "I knew this was going to happen because I knew the kind of quality players we had. I knew we were going to pull an upset." All right, so number 11 Drake takes on the number 3 Texas Tech, which only beat UNC Wilmington by 10. Matt, who do you got?
I'm actually going to go with Drake on this one. I think this will be kind of the upset of the second round. I think Drake is going to hit Texas Tech with, I think Drake is going to hit their shots. Drake is going to play sound defense. Same thing he did against Missouri. And I don't see anybody on Texas Tech that can just put Drake away. But I'm going to go with Drake here.
I'm going to agree with you. I go with Drake because again, Drake, they have nothing to prove. They know the kind of team they are and what they can do. And you're right, Matt. Texas Tech, they're good, but they haven't been that extra ultra, that zazzle, that sexy opponent that's going to say, you know what, we're have to go play Texas Tech. Like, oh my gosh, we have to play Texas Tech. Like, they haven't given me that look yet. I think Drake's going to pull this upset in there. What do you think, Shane? Drake or Texas Tech?
Well, I think it makes mention for what this transfer portal actually does for lower class athletes. And I'm not going to say lower class athletes as far as a slant to them, but I'm talking about like D2, D3 athletes in the D1 division. Because if you look at the top 5, the top person in the past 5 years, let me put it that way, as in the NCAA tournament, as far as a performer, has been from one of these schools and has transferred in. And you're looking at this cat from Drake that has led his team to this first round win. I can see it going on. I mean, their team, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, 30 wins?
I believe it was 31, yes.
So,
one of the best seasons they've had in a very long time.
I mean, they are not a bad team in any sense. But when you have this type of run and when you've got this guy, I can't pronounce his last name. No, it starts with a K. So I'm not going to butcher it. But he's the deal. He will be, as long as they keep making this run, he will be the storied player that we hear about and might even get a 30 for 30 about kind of deal. But they've got to get past this game. and this game's going to be a tough test. They might be able to pull it off, but I see depth being a problem late.
I like it. So you're going with Texas Tech then, right?
Yes, and but now if Beard was there, like we just talked about, if Beard was there, it'd be Texas Tech in a heartbeat.
All right, folks, there you have it.
But they don't have the defense anymore.
That is true. So you let us know what you think in the comments. Does Drake pull this upset over Texas Tech? You let us know. All right, Matt. John Calipari versus Rick Pitino. Number 10, Arkansas. Number 2, St. John's. I think it's going to be a close game, honestly. I really do, because both of them are fantastic coaches. However, I'm going to say St. John's wins. Because look, guys, St. John's has not won a tournament game since 2000 when I was a sophomore in high school. That's how long it's been. But I think St. John's pulls this upset. I think it's going to be like by a 10 to 15 point kind of upset. What do you think, Matt?
Well, first off, I'm going to date back to our last show where I said I thought Arkansas was going to just, beat Kansas because Arkansas does have the more high caliber players, that are suited for this tournament. As far as DJ Wagner, the center, Visick, both probably more likely going to be first round picks. And I think the same holds for this next game against St. John's. I just think that Arkansas is just going to have too many weapons for them. I don't know if Boogie Flynn is still injured or not. I'm sorry, not Boogie Flynn, but I know Arkansas's best player, his best offensive player that they had this year. I don't know if he's still hurt or not, but he gets Boogie Flynn. I don't know if he's playing or not. But with that being said, man, I still think Arkansas is the better team, and I hats off to Pitino, man, for getting St. John's to a number 2 seed. Hats off. But I'm gonna go with Arkansas on this one.
Ooh. All right. So Matt has another double-digit seed advancing. What do you got, Shane? Arkansas or St. John's?
Man, I forget what's Arkansas's big man's name that's playing so great.
Visick. I think.
Yeah,
No, it's
Agnew or something like that.
Audio. Oh gosh, it begins with the letter A. I don't know how to say his name. It's
it's
Jonas
Ado
or
something like
Ado.
that. I think it's Ado.
Yeah,
Ado
really
or Ado. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something, but man, like I saw the meme. Did you realize that this guy and like 3 other guys and Cooper Flagg were on the same high school team last year?
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, there's one guy from Georgia, one guy from the guy from Arkansas that we're talking about, the power forward center, and Cooper Flagg, and there's a couple others spread out. But man, that high school team had to been, great to watch.
They were loaded.
But I think even with that, man, I like St. John's. This team is rough nosed, and I think a almost kind of a throwback Big East team as we see like the Jim Boeheim days of Syracuse in the Big East.
That comparison, actually.
How they used to do it, but I think I like St. John's. I'm just a true believer in them, but I believe Arkansas is going to make it close. But Rick Pitino, the way he's got this team, I think if it's not a Final Four matchup, it might be a final matchup. But I got St. John's Houston would be a great game for any college basketball fan.
Absolutely, it would. I totally agree, 100%. All right, so let's move back up to the next. Let's move back up to the East region. Number 1, Duke taking on Baylor. I think Duke's going to handle their business absolutely. They took we knew they were going to take care of Mount St. Mary's. We knew that. I think Duke wins by 20 points actually. Look, Baylor surprised a lot of people, and according to ESPN, only 1,267 people selected Baylor to upset Mississippi State. and they pulled up the upset because they're a 9-8 seed. But I think Duke handles their business rather easily with Baylor. What do you think, Matt?
I'm going to agree here, man. Judging by the way that Duke looked last game against Mount St. Mary's, I think Duke is just too much, man. Of course, you got Cooper Flag, and then you got Moloch, the 7'1", 7'2", 7'3" center, however tall he is. Plus, you got Knuppel shooting. You got their guard play. I think Duke just doesn't have any holes right now. I think Shire's got them boys playing, but this is that big but that Baylor does have the athleticism with their freshman phenom VJ Edgecombe, who's going to be a top 5 pick in this draft. It reminds me of Dwayne Wade, but Baylor is that team. No. I said reminds me of Dwayne Wade when he was in the tournament playing for Marquette.
Okay.
But VJ is more athletic. He's more athletic than Dwayne Wade. Whoa, now. Come on now. You're not about to short me, sir. You're not about to put me on the short, sir. That's not about to happen.
Oh my word.
Speaking of that, we got something to talk about after we talk about this college stuff. We got something to talk about. You know what I'm gonna talk about. So we do got something to talk about. Yes, I'm gonna go with Duke here. But I think it's gonna be a closer game than what we anticipated.
Shane, Duke or Baylor? Who you got?
It's going to be Duke. They actually got Cooper Flag some meaningful minutes today. So as long as he was to play, Duke is the most complete team in college basketball with him playing and on the floor. So they got him some minutes. I think me and Matt both hit into this last time. As long as he plays something in this round,
Plays anything.
yeah. Duke is one of those teams, like I had mentioned before, a true Elite Eight team that you don't have any question going to the Elite Eight. So as long as Cooper Flag's there, they're an Elite Eight team, possibly the favorite going into the national championship.
All right, I like it, Matt. BYU and Wisconsin. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with Wisconsin here, man. I think Wisconsin's gonna have enough defense to shut down BYU's perimeter play, which is their strength, especially with their freshman guard Igor Demin, however you say it. So I think Wisconsin's gonna come through. They're gonna put the clamps on them, and I think Wisconsin's gonna win this pretty easily.
I will say this, okay. I kind of want BYU to win just because that player's NIL deal is like every time. So every time BYU wins, you win a package of Orida, like fries. So I kind of want them to win, so like I can get another packet out of there. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna agree with you right now, Matt, as well. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go ahead and say that Wisconsin. I don't want to say they whoop them. I could see Wisconsin winning by 10. All right, Shane, who you got? BYU or Wisconsin?
Hey, I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. BYU is that Cinderella team. That BYU VCU winner was going to be the Cinderella team of this March Madness bracket. So I'm going to go with BYU. I think they do everything right. I mean, they do it fundamentally right. And I think when you're playing back-to-back games and stuff like that, that helps. And that's why I thought North Carolina would be such a contender. But they weren't, and Ole Miss was spot on with their shooting tonight. So
absolutely,
that's kind of a couple of things that you got to deal with. But I believe in BYU. I'm gonna take them in a close game.
I like it. So Matt, Shane, I don't remember who did Jimmer Fredette play with again?
BYU. Yeah.
So he was okay. So he played on BYU.
Yeah.
All right. And whatever happened to Jim? Like, I mean, I only saw him play in the league like 2 years, then I never saw it again. Whatever happened?
I think he went to Charlotte and then fizzled out.
Nah, he had a great overseas career, man. Like a massively great overseas career. Made a lot of money overseas, and also he was in a 3-on-3 in the Olympics, just past Olympics. He was on that 3-on-3 team.
Oh, okay, I
So,
didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, I didn't know that. All right, cool. All right, so the next game we kind of just alluded to this a moment ago, but St. Mary's taking on Alabama. I'm going to go ahead and say this: Alabama, they what is that old saying? You don't want to wake a sleeping giant. I think Alabama is that giant, and I think St. Mary's is coming at the wrong time, facing a team like Alabama that realized they kind of skated by because they looked to the next opponent instead of that right then and there. Robert Morris is not a bad team. I'm not saying that at all. However, I think Alabama, I can see Alabama easily waxing the floor with St. Mary's. What do you got, Matt?
Yeah, man, I think this one's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a close game. I think Alabama. They realized that they almost crapped the bed first game, and they skimmed by, and they would have been the talk of the town. But I think now they're gonna realize that they got to come out and take care of business. I think they're gonna execute like they were all season, and they'll come out with a victory.
So while Shane's away, we'll go to the next one. Houston and Gonzaga. Houston blew out Southern Illinois University. We knew they were going to do that. We knew they were going to blow them out, but Gonzaga absolutely spanked Georgia. Matt, who you got?
Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to say it. I think Gonzaga's going to be Houston. I think Gonzaga's just too well coached. And Mark Few is just one of those coaches, man, that you just can't. He reminds me of Tom Izzo a lot, man. Might be a better coach than Tom Izzo, to be honest with you.
What?
When you look at the caliber,
would you really say that though? Because Tom Izzo, I could still remember hearing the interview where they said Tom Izzo shoots like 100 free throws before like hours before practice, and if he misses one, he restarts all over again to make sure he gets those 100 in a row. Because when he played, he was one of the most accurate free throw shooters there ever was in college basketball, and he had to make a free throw to win him the championship, and he missed it. And that's why to this day, if you look, Izzo is so like gun-ho about you've got to make your free throws, and he gets pretty upset about missing free throws. I don't know if I could say that. I think Tom Izzo is I kind of want to put him in the same realm of like greatness that Bobby Knight would be in, because Izzo is his own type coach. He's a phenomenal coach of the game of basketball. He knows basketball like the back of his hand. Like Gonzaga's his coach. He's really good. Absolutely, he's going to be good. The true challenge is going to be what happens when they move to the Pac-12 2.0. What's going to happen? Is he going to continue to sustain that level of success? Because there's been so many years Gonzaga has been one of the number one seeds, and they've basically like flaked on it and has stumbled every time. So it's going to be interesting. I wouldn't go too far yet to say that he is better than Tom Izzo. I think he's approaching Tom Izzo's level, but again, it's going to be all depending on, is he going to continue this level of success when he goes on to the Pac-12?
Well, I can tell you, we said the same thing because he was still the coach when Adam Morrison, the number one draft pick, that was a complete bust.
Yes.
Adam Morrison. Well, Adam Morrison was more of a health issue. Remember, he had the what's the stuff? You had to have the pouch or something like that.
Oh,
he had to get insulin shots during the games and stuff like that. So, Adam Morrison was more so health, but
still, in that same sense, is you're talking about a guy that coached that talent and is coaching this talent, and has gone up through the conferences in the same sense, like their competitive play is only rivaled against St. Mary's.
I wouldn't put him
right now.
I wouldn't put him at Tom Izzo's level yet.
I would put him maybe greater than Tom Izzo, because because Tom Izzo has that blue blood of Michigan State basketball. what did he grow up on? Nothing. He made Gonzaga what they are. So I mean, yes, you give it to the coaches of blue bloods and stuff like that, but now you're seeing, like I said, the disparity. That's going to be the word of the week: disparity.
To be honest, I think Mark Few has done a lot more with less than way less than Tom Izzo has had. Tom Izzo was coming in with 5 stars
But what was the team like
every
when
year.
Mateen Cleaves
That's
played,
what
though?
That's what I'm
Huh?
trying to say too.
When Mateen Cleaves played for Michigan State,
Look
what
who
was that
Mateen
team
Cleaves
really
had.
like?
Look who
I don't
Mateen
remember
Cleaves
the
had
people
on the
on
team.
there.
He had Morris Peterson. It was him and Morris Peterson on that team. That was a really good team. I mean, Tom Izzo he's always has top first round NBA draft
But
picks.
he coaches in a conference that is a
Yes.
super conference. I mean,
Yes.
the West Coast Conference is not exactly, I'm not going to write home to my parents about it. Hey, I'm
But
watching the
but
West Coast
but
Conference
but
versus the Big
But
Ten.
but we
but
can't say
it,
that but Gonzaga always schedules against the top of the top teams. Gonzaga always plays top competition, always.
yeah,
And when they get in the tournament, they always handle business in the tournament as well. Granted, they get to the Elite Eight. I think they only got to the Final Four like maybe a handful of times. And I know Tom.
once or twice.
I know Tom Izzo's gotten to the Final Four like 8 times. I understand that. I understand that. But Tom Izzo has always had the better players. I think Mark Few has done a lot more with less. Mark Few doesn't have those 5-star players. I think the only 5-star player he's had was Chet Holmgren, who we had a couple years ago. He doesn't. The 5-star players just don't go to Gonzaga. Doesn't happen. And they're always ranked in the top 5, top 10 most of the time. But I just think Mark Few has done a lot more with less. But don't get me wrong, Tom Izzo was possibly one of the greatest college coaches we will ever see. Do not get me wrong and do not mistake that. I will run with that to the day I die. But I just think Mark Few has done a lot more with less.
Oh yeah, Tom Izzo is a first ballot Hall of Famer, as we talked about Patino, Calipari, and them earlier, and I would put Izzo in that same sentence. But as you said, Michigan State, I'm going to add to this. Michigan State has always been on the verge of being another blue blood in the basketball sense. You look at Michigan State, well, they're not good in anything else, but basketball they're pretty good at. So,
You're right.
so you kind of look at that, and that's what you put Izzo in. But as a coach in itself, Mark, man, he's got it going on at Gonzaga, and I mean, you know by now he's had bigger offers.
Oh, yeah,
By now
absolutely.
he's had bigger offers.
But then also the question on that was,
but-
has he just stayed there because it's comfortable to him, because he knows what he can sustain at the level? I mean, to be honest, when you look at the West Coast Conference, who's the only other team you really worry about and watch? Is St. Mary's. That's it.
But
You don't look at other teams.
Within the last 5 years, what Gonzaga has done to bring them up to that next level of going to the next conference is all to do with that basketball program and what he has done.
You're right.
So you got to give him the kudos for that, and so in that same sense, you got to kind of look at them on the same level between Izzo and Mark. The way they are. One's known for something, and then one's known for something else. But comparably, they are, comparable coaches. But I'm with Matt. I give the edge to Mark in that sense that he was the one that made it. Gonzaga, nobody knew their name until he was a coach.
That is true. All right, so let's go to the next game. Now we just talked about Clemsoning right now. It's McNeese State versus Purdue. Is this Will Wade's final game as a coach at McNeese, or do they pull the upset and move on to the Sweet 16 and beat Purdue? Matt, I'm going to start with you.
I think Purdue has just too much talent with their big man in the middle and their slew of perimeter players. I think this is a blowout easy from the start, man. I don't think Purdue's not going to make the same mistake that Clemson made, man. Purdue's going to come out and they are going to run their offense. They're going to get easy baskets, and they're going to play defense. And I think Purdue's going to win this one easily.
All right, Shane, McNeese or Purdue?
Well, I could say as long as Purdue watched the film from the Clemson game with their defense and their big man, they know what not to do. So I think that Purdue can get up on them easy, but then again, McNeese is a streaky team. They get going from the 3-point line, and their defense is hopping. Look for it to be maybe a closer game than what people would think.
I agree. I think Purdue's going to win. Shout out to Lake Charles, Louisiana. That's where McNeese is at. They're a scrappy little bunch. They absolutely are. And I tip my cap to them. Congratulations on getting your first ever NCAA tournament victory against a perennial powerhouse in the ACC with Clemson. Purdue, obviously it's going to be a tough matchup. I agree, though. Purdue has too much talent to match up against with McNeese's level. And I think Purdue realized they overlooked High Point. I say Purdue wins. All right, the last one that we know right now, number 7 UCLA and Tennessee. Tennessee, they had a little bit of a challenge to start. It was like they were just enough to skate by. Towards the end, they took over. Wofford, Wofford's not a bad team. They did a really good job in the SoCon. However, Tennessee did prevail. Matt, who you got, UCLA or Tennessee?
I'm going to go with Tennessee here, man. I think Tennessee is just going to come out and handle business. They are a really good team. Then they're a 2 seed for a reason. I think the game against Wofford was, it could have been, it was closer than what some people liked, but I think Tennessee is going to just come out and execute well. And not to say take anything away from UCLA, they did a great job against Utah State and blowing them out. But I think they just run into a buzzsaw here at Tennessee.
What do you think, Shane? UCLA or Tennessee?
I think Tennessee is kind of one of those teams that we've seen in the tournament. Kind of as a higher seed, they haven't produced what we thought they would produce. And I think that's all because of the guard play. Although yet Tennessee, they thrive on their guard play. So their guard play was great that we've seen in the tournament, but it's mediocre overall. And that makes them who they are. I believe it's going to be a close game because UCLA has that depth and that defense that I've talked about the tournament from the start. But I do believe that Tennessee's guard play sharpens up from the first round to the second round, and we see Tennessee pull this out by 3 to 5 points.
Very good. I like it. All right, folks, there you guys have it. That's what we are projecting right now of the teams that are in the field of 32 to go to the Sweet 16. Let us know what you think in the stream. We will react to your comments. Matt, you said you had something you want to talk about. Please go right ahead.
I actually do have something I want to talk about, man. The NBA. NBA is
oh no, don't even.
It's
I
a league.
know where you're
it's
going.
A league where
No,
hold on. You gotta be finished. You gotta be finished. You gotta be finished. The NBA is a league where
one game
only the best of the best play.
One game,
and if somebody does something,
out,
you gotta let me finish. You gotta let me finish it, Brandon. You gotta let me finish it. Okay. And in this league, it's a league of men. We have the best players that we've seen: Kevin Durant, LeBron James. I mean, you go back to Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, David Robinson, Michael Jordan, Dr. J, Larry Bird. You have players, and they all have to start somewhere. The great Kobe Bryant averaged The great Kobe Bryant averaged 7 points a game his rookie year, guys. He averaged 7 points a game. Then he jumped up to 19.9 his next year. So, players need time to grow, okay? Players do things in college and they do things in the G League. And when players do things in the G League, like average 20 points, 7 boards, 7 assists, they're told, but they need to do that in the NBA. Well played. Oh, guys, it happened last night. They still got
blown out.
It happened last night against the Milwaukee Bucks, actually. And we're going to talk about Bronny James here. And let's
see who didn't play though.
You're gonna let me have this. You're gonna let me have this because I had to sit back and listen to you say he's not glorified college or whatever. I had to sit back and listen to this. I watched a glorified college player shoot 7 for 10, 2 for 4 from the 3-point line, with 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and make great plays from the point guard position, especially in the pick and roll. Make great plays. Cross Giannis up. I watched him cross Giannis up. And had a great game. Had a great game. So I'm gonna they got blown out by the Bucks.
And I want you to tell me who was the best player for the Lakers that played last night.
All the players played for the Lakers except for LeBron James and Rui Hachimura and
and Luka Doncic.
A slew of other players. But they had starters playing, and
their
the
best
player that shined
is Dalton Connect, who they just tried to get rid of.
Well, the best player on the court for the Lakers last night was Bronny James, and that's all that matters because it was an NBA game, and he scored 17 points, shot 70% from the field, played great defense, ran the pick and roll. He orchestrated the pick and roll masterfully. So I'm going to give respect to where it's due. And you know what? I'm hats off to the young LeBron James Jr.
He's going to be good at
for shutting the naysayers up and having a good game against pros. He had a great game against pros.
He had a great game against second stringers.
No, he didn't. No, he did not. Again, no, he did not. No, he did not.
118 to 89.
They played no, sir.
Y'all can't change.
He played the Milwaukee Bucks starters. Sir.
Can't change my mind.
I don't have to change. The proof is in the pudding.
Proof is not.
He's getting his confidence back. His game is starting to round out. He's realizing he's more athletic than a lot of guys that's trying to guard him, and he's taking off, man. So much respect to LeBron James. 3 years.
Y'all want a
3
short?
years.
Y'all want a short? Here it is. Bronny James, the way he played last night, is a Andre Iguodala.
Oh my God!
To a 10.
Cassie, give me that flag right there, please.
Go ahead.
The red flag right there. That is no. You can. I cannot believe. You know what? Shane, you just got flag. I cannot believe you compared Andre Iguodala, a Hall of Famer who just got his jersey retired, to freaking Bronny James. Dude, get out of it.
With the way he played,
you're not 45. Night. You know what? You're at 50-yard, 60-yard penalty.
You know what, Brandon?
Give me that flag.
Brandon, on behalf of Bronny James, I'm going to say to you, hold my beer.
Yeah, no. And I'm going to, as the great words of when Stuart Scott had Chad Johnson about the ESPN Sports Center commercial, he goes, "What do you think? Booyah!" And he goes, "Boo no." That's right. That's all I'm going to say. Boo no. No. Hey, if you guys think Bronny James is 2.3 points is NBA caliber enough, then by golly, I can sure as heck.
Hey, he just needs minutes, man. He played 33 minutes. That's the most minutes he's played, man. Yeah. I'll take 17 points, shooting 70% from the field from 33 minutes from my 55th pick in the draft any day. Any day.
You know he's gonna
from a bench player,
any day.
No.
Yeah. No. Those are Iggy stats.
Hey,
you would
look,
you would not argue those
you
stats.
You can never ever put somebody like that in the same sentence as Andre Iguodala.
Hush your mouth real quick. If Iggy had those stats, you would not say a word.
Andre Iguodala, if you're watching this, I am so sorry that you got compared to Bronny James Jr. I mean, come on now. As far as your caliber, remember our good friend here,
We're
Matt,
not
said
talking about his
he has
caliber. We're
Eric
talking about
Bledsoe type
Bronny's
talent.
caliber. We're talking about
I
Bronny's
said he has
caliber,
what
not,
talent?
not his
Eric
caliber.
Bledsoe type talent.
Yes,
Yes.
and I still. And if you
No.
look at the, if you did
No.
you see the highlights yesterday, Brandon? Did you see
I
his?
did. I watched.
I bet
Yo.
you watched it, and I bet you the whole time you're like,
No, I did not.
Matt's going to talk about this. Matt's going to talk about this next tomorrow. I just know it.
He looked. If you looked at the highlights, he looked like Iggy in Golden State.
The heck he did.
Hey, look, man. I'll say,
Yeah, well,
I-
what highlights
hey,
did
hey,
you watch?
Hey, my
Because
Bledsoe,
that's
my
what it
Bledsoe
was.
comparison stand packed. The way he got to the rack, oh my gosh, up and unders. Oh my gosh, come on, man. Come on, Brandon. Come on.
Nope. No.
See?
No.
Watch
I
this.
will
Watch this.
ne-
Watch this.
no.
Shane, one day Bridie's going to drop like 40, 50 points, and Brandon's
Oh
still
my
going to be nope.
God.
Nope.
Where you know what? Where did I put that flag?
He's sipping it.
Your flag too, Matt. Good grief.
He's sipping that haterade.
Yeah,
The
it was a
Haterade.
great flavor too, by the way. I love my Haterade.
Oh,
With
Oh,
the
man.
side of, with the side of shut your mouth.
Yes, look,
Matt, here is your flag.
It's a
Shane,
little
you're already at
tart.
100 yards. So
Hey,
come
hey,
on.
you're gonna miss it with the
Hey.
flags. You're gonna miss it with the flags for the simple fact that you said, Brandon, you said he was only playing against glorified college players. He
Liz.
did this against NBA caliber, all-star level athletes.
I got one for you.
Again,
Okay, you
he
ready?
crossed Giannis up. He had Giannis
Hold
on
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I got
Giannis
one for
had
you
to
guys, okay?
foul him.
Yes.
Giannis had
yes.
to
Here's what
foul
I'll
him.
do. Okay. All right, and I want you to timestamp this too, Matt. Okay.
Sounds evident.
All right.
7:51, March 21st
71,
at
March
7:51.
21st, 2025. Bronny James has to score 17 points a night for the next 4 games, and then
Give him 33 minutes. He will. Give him
Okay.
33 minutes a night, and he will.
okay, if he does it, okay,
Give him 30
He
minutes
has-
a night, and he will.
he has to play the Bulls. He plays the Magic, then the Pacers, then the Bulls, and then the Grizzlies. Out of
Brandon,
all those,
obviously.
if he scores
Brandon.
17
Hey,
points.
averaging points per minute.
No,
There
not
you
averaging
go.
points per minute.
Point-
No,
point-
There you
no,
go.
no, no.
minute
Points per
play.
36.
17
Give me a
points
PER.
games.
Give me his per
Play.
36. Give me his per 36, and then we'll see
Yes.
what's up. Give me his
Yes.
per 36.
He has to score 17 points a night. That's
That's
what I
not.
said.
That's Brandon. He's not
No.
going to play that many minutes. It's not going to happen.
Points
LeBron them are going to
per
be back.
minute.
That's not going to
Not my
happen.
fault. Not
See,
my
this
fault.
is-
Still a
Points
glorified
per-
can't
college
win.
player.
You just can't win with this.
Still a glorified
He will.
college
He
player.
will find. This guy will find any loophole to win. He'll find it.
Hey,
I
hey,
told
hey,
you. I said
Hey,
if
Felicia.
he can do it and get 17
Felicia.
points a game each night,
Well, you know what? Well, you
then
know
I
what?
will say that he is
Felicia.
finally advancing. But
Well, you know what? Shout out
Well-
to Bronny James for getting 17 points last night. Shout out to him for doing that.
Yeah.
shout
Keep,
out
keep
to
elevating your game. Keep
shout
elevating your
out
game. sir.
to the Rondell Walkers of the 17th round of the NBA draft, scoring 1 point a game. That's how good it was. So, yeah.
Bye. Bye.
Hey guys, we had a really good episode. I had so much fun interacting with you guys. Look, guys, you know, this is the kind of great content you're going to get every time we come on. I mean, the fact that, you know, you sit here and you see us just laughing and giggling away and just cracking up, having fun. That's all it's about. It's really, you're having fun. And if you're going to sit there and get upset because we don't agree with you, then I'm sorry. We're here to have fun. We're here to talk sports, have fun. We appreciate you guys coming on. Remember, Saturday, May the 3rd, we will have our live on location at Tequila's. Check us out, 6:30 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. Come in there. We have giveaways for Greenville Drive, for the Hub City Spartan Burgers. We may have some discounts on food, gift cards, you name it. We're going to have a lot to do. It's going to be a lot of fun. We want to have you guys be there with us to celebrate that 100th episode. So, guys, for our good friend Sean Weatherspoon, formerly of the Atlanta Falcons and now the official new head coach of Pace Academy football, Matt, what do you tell these lovely people? We're going to go Shane last today because, yeah.
Yeah, guys. Enjoy the weekend, March Madness. Don't get flagged in the game of life. If you're gonna go out drinking, make sure you got an Uber or make sure you have somebody else that's gonna drive. You don't want to hear the whoop whoops behind you because if you hear those, your weekend is going to be terrible in the cell all night long with bread that they give you, hard bread with
Wow.
peanut butter in the packet. Like you got to open the packet and then
The peanut
squirt
butter
the peanut
honey.
butter on there, and
Oh,
it's disgusting. It's all runny. Imagine peanut butter with water and mixed together. It's all runny and it's disgusting. They give you like kind of a rotten orange, and you
Sounds like
get
you've
some
had
kind
this
of other
experience
like the
yourself,
hard
man.
brownies they used to give us in the school in those meals. It can be a hard crispy brownie, and then they're gonna give you milk.
12-day-old brownies.
They're gonna give you milk. Oh no, they give you a little cup of orange juice or whatever, or the little cup thing of whatever they give you. It's a liquid that you don't want to drink. So also their toilets are out in the open. So look, guys, don't get flagged. It's not worth it. You don't want to stay there this weekend. Just take your butt home and drink at the house.
Sounds like you've had experience with this, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shane, what do you tell these lovely people?
Oh, well, man, hey, it's a pleasure as always to sit here and bend your ear for
Almost 2 hours.
almost 2 hours. Wow, time gets away when you're having fun. But
That's right.
anyway, I'm glad for everybody out there. Want to hear your interactions. Kind of get your thoughts on our guest, man. Sean, man, it was great to see him on, man. It's great to have everybody on, kind of bend y'all's ear for a little while. But as always, man, have a lovely day and peace, love, and bacon grease.
Absolutely. Peace, love, and bacon grease. Indeed. Guys, we had fun tonight. For all of those who watched the show, who chimed in, everything, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We will see you guys again on Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We will actually have a college softball coach, one of the winningest softball coaches in collegiate athletic history. Come on. Cannot wait to have her on. So till then, you guys have a wonderful weekend. Hey, go enjoy the weather. Unity Park is going to be on and popping. It's supposed to be in the upper 70s this weekend. So go enjoy it. Have fun with your family. Have fun with your friends. But most of all, be safe. Be smart. Don't do anything stupid. And go have fun watching college basketball. Till then, guys, we'll see you guys on Tuesday for episode number 90. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you then. Good night.